In this video, we will show you how two successful founders were able to increase their social media engagement and overall brand awareness for their organic, cruelty-free skincare brand BYBI by using our sustainable packaging solutions. Therefore, we scheduled a video call with the founders. Hi Dominika, hi Elsie, it's a pleasure to meet you today. In the beginning, we would love to learn more about your success story.
Sure. So Elsie and I are the co-founders of BYBI. We launched in 2017. So yeah, if we've known you for 2 years, we've known you for most of the journey, which is great. So we are a skincare brand from London. We sell 100% natural, vegan, cruelty-free skincare, but we have a massive focus on sustainability, and it's something that both Elsie and I are really passionate about and wanted to make kind of the main brand pillar. And I guess the reason why we created the brand was that we were using a lot of natural products and really believed in the performance and the efficacy around using products that were 100% natural. But in the market, it felt like there was a brand missing that kind of spoke to a slightly younger consumer with a little bit less seriousness or kind of that homemade feel as well. So we were either going into kind of Whole Foods and health food stores to find natural products, or they were marketed at a slightly older and more affluent audience. So we thought we would create a brand that's more affordable, that speaks to that younger consumer, but still is really strong on all of the ethics around being natural, vegan, and sustainable. So yeah, it's been quite a crazy ride. Before BYBI, Elsie and I were running and still do a content platform called Clean Beauty Insiders. So that was really our first step into kind of creating a brand and trying natural products and natural ingredients. We've been doing that since 2015, so a little bit longer than BYBI. And you can still find that content, and we run a podcast as well, Clean Beauty Insiders. So you can get to know us as founders a lot as well. But yeah, BYBI, has been growing really quickly. I think the audience for our products is growing. People are becoming much more concerned about the environmental impact of, their consumer products, but they still want products that work. Kind of in a post-pandemic recession, price is more important than ever. So I think that we are building like a really relevant brand for kind of 2021 and beyond. So we're very excited. And we absolutely love working with you guys because you're always on the forefront of thinking about sustainability and minimizing packaging's impact on the planet. So it's really important that, we partner with people like yourselves that are innovative and first to market with a lot of great materials. And that's what we love.
Where will BYBI be in 5 years from now?
That's a big question. I think for us, it's about building out, a sustainable skincare brand that's available to the masses. We have a huge emphasis on running the business in an environmentally responsible way and looking at that across our entire supply chain. So we don't just think that sustainability starts and stops at packaging, although packaging is an important part of it, but we actually look at our climate or our kind of impact on the climate across the entire supply chain. So we like to say from seed to shelf. And there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes there. But what was really important for us when we brought this brand out was for it not to feel like it was only available to an exclusive market. So through our price point, through the way that we market, through our distribution outlets as well, the kind of retailers that we work with, you'll see that we're very, very accessible. We're very affordable. And that's really, really important because we believe that sustainability shouldn't just be exclusive, but we also believe that if we want to have a true impact on the environment, then we have to do it at scale. It's no point us being a small niche brand operating in a very small area of the market. We have to be able to appeal to a mass audience to spread the message around climate conscious beauty. So for us, 5 years time, where we'd like to be is, the global leading, world recognized, largest sustainable skincare brand.
Yes, that's true. We want to replace as much plastic as possible. All right. My next question is, what is the hottest best-selling product of BYBI at the moment?
Our best-selling product is our Bakuchiol Booster, which is a natural retinol alternative. So it's a plant-derived extract that has all of the same benefits as retinol. And I think this is what BYBI does really well, is find these really interesting ingredients that have properties and benefits that are really well known in kind of mainstream skincare, and we make it really accessible to those that want to stay 100% natural, and also those that have slightly more sensitive skin type. So yeah, that is £12. It is, our bestseller. It flies off the shelves, and I think it just really works. So people come back and buy it time and time again. So we're actually doing 3 new products in the next week, which is exciting. Quite a lot to launch in a short period of time, but we're constantly innovating, and we do all of our product development in-house. So we have a chemist and a lab and an MPD manager, and that process is really harnessed internally within BYBI rather than outsourcing it to a third party.
Cool. Let's talk about the sustainable e-commerce packaging out of grass paper, which Seismografics produced for you.
Yeah, we love this. This is probably one of the most Instagrammed parts of the unboxing experience when somebody orders something from BYBI or an influencer has sent something. So we opted to use your grass paper for all of our kind of e-com shippers. So that's the box there. We also have an insert of tissue paper as well, and little labels. And really for us, that was about looking to find a solution that was less energy intensive than standard wood pulp paper. So when you came to us with this material, we were so impressed with it because, it ticked so many boxes, but we didn't have to, it can still look and feel like really cool and fun and fresh. We didn't have to compromise on the actual performance of the material itself and the way that translates into design. So as you've shown there, it still feels really funky and very, very on brand, but actually it's a really nice moment for people to discover that it's actually made from the grass paper material. So constantly all over Instagram, every time somebody has that opening experience, and then we've got a little note that says the grass is always greener inside, we often get people kind of snapping that and saying, oh, I'm so impressed with BYBI, it's such a great material, so never heard of it before, so interesting. So yeah, we were super excited when you guys kind of came to us with that. And I think for us at the moment, we're trying to figure out how we can get it into more of the range, because we'd love for it to be a bigger part of the rest of our packaging. So yes, it's a great material, the grass paper.
Good to hear. Since sustainable packaging is still a lot more expensive than conventional packaging, would you say that it paid off in terms of social media engagement?
Yeah, I think social media and having a great unboxing experience is really important. But I think what's more important is investing in technology like this so it becomes cheaper for everyone. And I think even since the time that we've been working together, our volumes have increased so much that now we're ordering, much larger quantities than when we started, and then it starts to become more cost effective. But I think investing in that, experience and that sustainable material early on is really important. So it's not just always about profit. It's about, if you've got a mission around sustainability, obviously that is going to come with a price tag at this point in time, because, there's just not enough of these materials available, and there's not enough demand to make it as kind of cost effective as a normal paper. But I think, it's important to balance the two, and hopefully we'll come to a point where these materials are just the norm and used by everyone. And then it becomes less of a kind of price conversation and more about just making sure that you're investing in the right materials.
I remember the massive social media engagement when we launched the packaging. We even answered a lot of questions midnight via phone.
Yeah, it's super important to engage with people when they get excited about this kind of stuff as well.
So you did a really good job on this. How big was your growth after launching the packaging last year?
We've been averaging about between 150% and 200% year-on-year growth. So yeah, it's pretty big and pretty rapid as well. It's a fairly short time for us to grow. But, I think as I'm sure you've gathered from this conversation, we're both very ambitious and we have huge ambitions for the brand. So, there's there's a sense of urgency with what we're doing. We want to be the first to do it. As I said earlier, we're going to be the biggest sustainable skincare brand, and we want to be the first. We want to be the first to get there. So, that naturally comes with growth. And I think we've, managed the business in a way that we see growth not only from our own direct customers, but also partnering with, strategic retail and retailers who can really help us reach that scale as well. So we work with the likes of Boots and Sephora, some of the big online players like ASOS and Amazon. So we're about to launch into the US in a very big way in January. We can't tell you more than that for now, but I think you guys know, but we'll have to keep it secret from your followers for now. So yeah, it's been a time of like huge growth for us, and I think we'll continue to see that. But beauty is a big business at the moment. It's skincare continues to grow despite the kind of current situation. So it's a good opportunity for us to be in this industry and be doing something different and kind of striving for change. It does mean that we don't get much sleep, though, unfortunately. As founders, we're constantly up and awake and thinking about the business. And but yeah, it's been a wild ride so far, but that growth should continue from here on out.
Being self-employed, I know what that means. Did you see a shift from retail to online since COVID?
Yeah, definitely. I think we were quite retail heavy, I guess, at the start of COVID. But all of our, bricks and mortar physical retail have online, counterparts as well. So quite quickly, all of that revenue just shifted to being online. I think people during kind of COVID have just been quite concerned about their health. So that's where kind of clean and natural products become, more relevant for people. And also the kind of self-care of wanting to stay at home and, treating yourself to a nice face mask or a nice skincare ritual makes a lot of people feel better about the situation. And it is a nice thing to kind of have time for these days. So yeah, we've seen a lot of demand online, both through our own direct to consumer, which is where the e-commerce boxes come into play, and then also with our retail partners. I think it's a fairly common story across the board, I would say. Most beauty brands are seeing obviously quite a big shift to online.
How did you experience the development process with Seismografics?
Yeah, we loved the development process. It's been great. I think the product that we've come up with was a real collaborative approach. And yeah, it's always been super smooth. I think working with you guys, we always know that, as you've already said, you're at the end of a WhatsApp, we can contact you really easily. And we love that you're based in Europe as well. So from a time zone perspective, it's very easy for us. And I think, we've also kind of discussed other projects with you in the past that maybe haven't come to fruition just yet. But I think what we're always really impressed with is, your guys' ability to just be quite innovative and quite flexible with your thinking. So we know if we have a very specific, type of product that we need to house in something, or we're looking for a different material, that we can come to you guys and you'll be, even if you can't kind of help us, you'll definitely kind of point us in the right direction. And we've seen some great kind of initial designs from you on a number of things. So we've had a great time working with you. I'm very impressed. And like I say, for us, the next step is definitely about how we integrate more of your materials into the rest of the range. We've come up with some wacky ideas. I remember when you guys were trying to help us when we had the idea to do the corsetina, do you remember the foldy thing? And we were going to put it in all the products, but it didn't work with the products in the end. Unfortunately, it was our products were weighed too much for it. But that kind of thing, you guys, we just asked you guys and you were like, yeah, sure, we can make that work. So we love that. I think it's a really fun process. It's nice to be creative, because sometimes the packaging industry can be a little bit dull, can't it? So it's nice that you guys are leading the way and keeping things really interesting.
So thank you so much for taking your time for this interview. We love to continue this marvelous collaboration in the future.
Thank you